Okay, we're ready. Okay, we're calling into order the hearing for the Public Safety, Intergovernmental and Military Affairs for Tuesday, March 15, 2022 at 1 p.m. in conference room 229. And these are the things I've got to say. In the unlikely event, not so unlikely because we had a problem early this morning, that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to technical difficulties, the committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business on, in this case, March 17, 2022, 1 p.m. in room 229. And a public notice will be posted on the legislature's website. And we're going to allow 2 minutes per testifier. This meeting is being streamed live on YouTube. And let's go on. If we have temporary technical difficulties or glitches during your turn to testify via Zoom, we may have to move on to the next person due to time constraints. We appreciate your understanding and remind you that the committee has a written testimony. I'll be reading a list of individuals who submitted written testimony for each measure. If the closed captioning doesn't accurately transcribe your names, we apologize. And if you're interested in reviewing the written testimony, please go to the legislature's website. You'll find a link on the status page for the measure. Okay, knowing that, we can begin with the first testifier. In this case, we have Lance Goto for the Attorney General on Zoom. Lance?
Good afternoon, Chair, committee members. Lance Goto with the Department of the Attorney General. We are in support of this bill with a few amendments. They're kind of like updating amendments since this is a 2021 bill. So the proposed amendments relate to the extension of the deadline and the appropriation amount. This is a bill proposed by the Law Enforcement Standards Board itself. And the main purposes are to clarify membership requirements for the board, to facilitate participation and representation on the board, to establish new deadlines for completion of the board's responsibilities, and to provide necessary funds and resources for the board to accomplish its goals. The main responsibilities for this board are to establish minimum standards for employment as a law enforcement officer and certifying persons qualified as law enforcement officers, and to regulate and enforce the certification requirements for these law enforcement officers. So pursuant to the law from 2020, the board was tasked to finalize its standards and certification process by December of last year. So this bill from 2021 extends the deadline to June 30th, 2023 to accomplish these tasks, but the board is currently asking that the deadline be extended to June 30th, 2024. And the board is also, through its chairperson, requesting that there be an appropriation of $483,000. And we include these proposed amendments in our testimony. Thank you.
Thank you, Lance. Next, we have Patrick McCain, the Deputy Director for DOT on Zoom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Department of Transportation is in support of the measure, and we would like to echo the remarks of the Attorney General's office, and we thank you for considering this very important measure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, we have Michael Kunishima for HPD. Michael, are you there?
I'm logging on, sir. Good afternoon, Chair Nishihara and committee members. I'm Captain Michael Kunishima with the Training Division of the Honolulu Police Department, and the HPD supports House Bill 892, House Draft 2, and we stand on our written testimony. We'll be here for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Jason Ridula for DLNR.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. Jason Redula on behalf of Chair Case, DLNR. The department will stand on its written testimony in support. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ian Garode. Ian, are you there? I guess Ian's not there. Okay, he sent in testimony in support. Now we have others who sent in support. There will be Isaac Choi, but they're not on the list of as far as testifying by Zoom. Anyone else here would like to testify before I go through the rest of the list? We're presently here.
If I may.
Yeah, you may start.
Good afternoon, Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair DeCoy, Senator Baker. My name is Adrian Dakwa. I am one of the members on the Law Enforcement Standards Board. Chair Raybuck couldn't make it today. I hope you have his testimony. I would echo the testimony of Lance and Patrick and Jason and urge this committee to pass this. We are in strong support of this bill. It's important work that establishes the certification, decertification, recertification process for our law enforcement officers. We just need the resources, funding, and a little bit more time to accomplish those goals. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else in the room who would like to testify on this? Otherwise, we have the Isaac Choi in support, part of taxation. And of course, we have Todd Rayback, but we already have his written testimony. And we have Max Otani who sent in comments. And Paul Ferreira, and in support. And I guess that brings us to the end of the testifiers list. Oh, yeah. Also noted that Robert Kovaku from Chopra is opposed to the measure. And also Connie Shaw Puchi, individual, also opposed. So there are 7 support, 2 opposed, and 2 comments.
Chair.
Yep.
Todd testimony had some requested amendments.
Oh,
Did you want to know what those were?
you got them?
Yeah.
Oh,
There is
Yeah.
testimony.
oh. Okay, this particular bill, there were requests for some amendments to it, so we'll go on to the next one and let me do the discussion of the,
Okay,
and we'll go over those amendments. Is that okay?
sure.
Okay, next will be House Bill 1239, House Draft 2. We have Patrick McCain, POT, send in comments. Patrick, are you here?
Yes, sir, I am. Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair DeCoy, members of the committee, the Department of Transportation is in support of this measure. And we would like to, like the last bill, draw attention to the funding and thank you for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Lance Goto.
Good afternoon, Chair. The department just submit comments. This bill makes amendments to laws regarding the Law Enforcement Officer Independent Review Board and the Law Enforcement Standards Board, and we just offer comments as to the provisions for the Standards Board. The department prefers the provisions contained in the earlier bill, House Bill 892, that we just heard testimony on. The provisions regarding the Standards Board in 892 contain important provisions for the board that are not present in this bill. 892 provides needed funding and resources for the board and gives the board more time to accomplish its tasks. This bill does not do so. So if the committee decides to pass this bill, we ask the committee to respectfully consider removing the provisions related to the Standards Board in this bill and allow the Standards Board law to be addressed by HB 892. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and that measure, we had, I guess Todd Novak had his recommendations for the Law Enforcement Standards Board. And we had opposition from it from Robert Tobacco Chopin. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they also linked testimony. We had one from the ACLU, and I think it's something we can look at as well when we look at the bill for possible amendments. Okay, members, any questions before we move on? Okay, moving on to House Bill 1584. We have Lance go to again.
Good afternoon, Chair. The department supports this bill. This bill would amend Section 803-16 to update the list of federal agencies whose law enforcement officers may make arrests for certain types of offenses under state law by adding the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the Homeland Security Investigations, and removing United States Citizenship and Immigration Services from the list. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Patrick McCain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair DeCoit, honorable members of the committee, the Department of Transportation is in support of the intent of the measure and will stand on our testimony. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Okay, then we have Tate Nojima, Captain HPD. Captain Nojima, are you there? Okay, well, we send in testimony and support. We also had John Toban for Homeland Security and support. Max Otani, the director, send in support. And Paul Ferreira for support. Any others like to testify or in this room? Otherwise, members, any questions? Okay, we'll move on to House Bill 2171, House Draft 2. Craig Iha, I guess it will be Mr. Duckwell. Are you going to testify, or is Craig here? Are you here, Craig?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Chair Nishihara. Craig Iha, Deputy Attorney General. The department supports this bill by consolidating state law enforcement functions in a standalone Department of Law Enforcement, and by reestablishing the Department of Public Safety as the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. The bill will allow each of the respective agencies to focus their planning, operation, and resources on their very distinct core missions. And we think that that's going to result in better overall law enforcement and corrections and rehabilitation results for the people of the state. We do ask, however, that the committee make an amendment to the bill, and this relates to the authority of Attorney General vehicles to run with blue lights. That authority was included in House Draft 1 of this bill, but it was taken out from House Draft 2. And this is important for our department because even after the Department of Law Enforcement is created, the Department of the Attorney General will retain certain specialized, statutorily mandated investigations functions. And these include internet crimes against children, Medicaid fraud, and human trafficking. And the investigators assigned will all have full law enforcement authority, and they'll require the use of blue lights while conducting their investigations and operations. And proposing amendments to HRS 291-3.5, I'm sorry, 291-31.5 and 291C-1. And we've set forth the proposed amendments in our written testimony. And these pretty much mirror the amendments that one of the prior committees made in House Draft number 1. I'm available to answer any questions. Thank you for the opportunity to testify in support.
Thank you. Okay, so moving on, there were additional late testimonies. Oh yeah, is Max there? Oh. Director for Public Safety, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Hi, good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members, Max Otani, Department of Public Safety. The department strongly supports House Bill 2171, House Draft 2. We would stand on our written testimony, and we would ask that you pass this measure in House Draft 2 form. Be available for any questions you may have. Thank you.
thank you. Max, Patrick McCain.
Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair DeCoit, honorable members of the committee, the Department of Transportation is in support of the measure. In the interest of time, we'd like to stand on a written testimony. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Fred Hune for HPA. Fred. I guess he's not here. Okay, there are a number of late testimonies, but I'll just read off the names of those who are. Yeah, I already did that. Right. Just to let you know, there were other testimonies that received late testimony. And, yeah, right. Oh, is General Hara here?
Sir, good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. I'm Frank Pace, I'm the Administrator for the Office of Homeland Security, and I'm representing General Hara today and the Department of Defense. General Hara stands on his testimony as submitted in support of House Bill 2171. Thank you. We are available for any questions that you may have of the department.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we also had other people who sent in letters of support. And oh yeah, we also had a couple with comments. Ones in support would be William Oku. He left a letter in support for public safety. William Isla with the HHL in support. And we have comments from Cheryl Kakazu Park from OIP. And in comments, Randy Pereira, HGA in support. Robert Cavaco in support. And then Kochi sent in comments for ASME, UPW. Frank Pace. Frank, are you there? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, he did it for General Hara. But this is as an individual, that's one. Mark Tom, Mark, you're here, Mark.
Good afternoon. The Department of Health and stand on.
Oh, okay.
Should I come up or- I haven't done this for so long.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can come up.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
you're here, I mean, you're dressed up and ready
Because
to
they
go.
can't hear you
They
if
can't
you're
hear
back
me.
there.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Senator. Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Mark Top of the Department. Department of the Prosecuting Attorney stands on its written testimony and support. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Let's see, who else was there? Oh, is he here? Yeah. Okay, the following are people in support. There's Charles Lakaden, Christopher Lee. Yeah, well, there's 121 in support, I guess.
For an opposition.
And 4 in opposition and 3 with comments. Okay. I don't have to read them all. No, good. All right, that brings us to House Bill 1891, House Draft 1. And we have Elizabeth Kent.
Aloha. Thank you for the opportunity to testify in strong support of this bill. When I first heard about this bill as a uniform law commissioner, when I saw it, I thought about Ingeborg Jandura, who was from Edmonton, Canada, came to Hawaii for vacation and was killed by her husband. That case always stayed in my mind. So I really support this bill. I think it gives police another tool against domestic violence. Separating the people who are arguing and enforcing the no contact judgment is a step in keeping people safe. And thank you for hearing my testimony. I urge you to vote yes.
Thank you, Elizabeth. We have another in support, that's Ken Takayama, who longtime person here in LRB in support. I don't believe we have any more for that one. I think that's the end of those. Members' questions? No? Okay. House Bill 1903, House Draft 1. We have Andrea Losby. Andrea, are you here?
Yes, I am. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hello, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. Thank you for giving me the time to offer testimony today. I strongly support House Bill 1903. I stand on my written testimony, but would also like to ask the committee to consider adding or re-adding Section 1 of the originally drafted bill back into the final version. Section 1 of the original bill stated, quote, "This act shall be known and may be cited as the David Losby Law," unquote. And I ask that this section be re-added for 3 reasons. One, this committee passed the companion bill, Senate Bill 3206, unamended on February 10th, which my family and I are very thankful for. 2, I believe connecting this legislation to a human being is crucial in explaining why snorkeling equipment data collection is so important. In other words, once a name is associated with a law, it's no longer just a law, but truly a story. And then 3, as you remember, this bill was introduced in honor of my dad, David Losby, a healthy 62-year-old who spent decades snorkeling and diving in Hawaii, but had no chance against the hidden dangers posed by the full face snorkel mask that he decided to try out for the first time in December. So for those 3 reasons, I ask that first section in the original bill be re-added. And thank you. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Andrea. Also, Elizabeth Char, Department of Health.
Good afternoon, Chair and Vice Chair, members of the committee. This is Dr. Al Bronstein for the Emergency Medical Services and Injury Prevention System branch. The branch stands on our written testimony. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. The rest are all support, and so there'll be 20 in support, no opposition, and 1 comment. And that brings us to the end of the agenda. So can we take a recess to deliberate? Okay, we're calling back into session the hearing of March 15th, 1 o'clock. The members have conferred. And so these are the recommendations. On the first one, House Bill 892, House Draft 2. We're going to amend it to what the original bill had, which was recommendation by the Ag and DOT. So those would be the amendments that we'll put back into the bill. Members, any questions? Otherwise,
You meant AG, I think, and not.
oh, yeah, AG, sorry, not agriculture, Attorney General. Okay. So to pass with amendments, Chair goes aye.
Members voting on HB 892, House Draft 2, passing with amendments. Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Rivera.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair,
Thank
your
you.
measures adopted.
Thank you. House Bill 1239, House Draft 2. Recommendation is to go back to the original SD1, which was a recommendation put together by what was the Attorney General's office. So we'll be putting those back into the bill. So pass this with amendments. Chair goes aye.
Members voting on HB 1239, House Draft 2 with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye, recognizing all members here. Any reservations or nays? Seeing none, Chair, your measures are adopted.
Thank you. House Bill 1584, power of arrest. We're going to amend it back to where the Attorney General's recommendations were. Those, I guess, the original SD1. So pass with amendments. Chair goes aye.
Members voting on HB 1584. With amendments, Chair and Vice Chair vote aye, recognizing all members here. Any reservations or nays? Seeing none, Chair, your measures are adopted.
Thank you. And House Bill 2171, House Draft 2. Recommendation is 2171. House Bill 2171, House Draft 2. The decision of the committee is to pass it as is. Members, any questions? Okay, to pass as is.
Members voting on HB 2171, House Draft 2. Chair's recommendation is to pass as is. Chair votes aye, recognizing all members here. Any reservations or nays? Seeing none, Chair, your measures adopted.
Thank you. House Bill 1891, House Draft 1. This is the Uniform Recognition and Enforcement of the Canadian Domestic Violence Protection Act. Committee has conferred and is agreeable to passing it as is. Chair goes aye.
Members voting on HB 1891, House Draft 1, passing as is. Chair votes aye, recognizing all members here. Any reservations or nays? Seeing none, Chair, your measures adopted.
Thank you. And House Bill 1903, House Draft 1, there was testimony by Ms. Losby, and she has some recommendations that are originally part of the bill. So we're going to take the amendments that Ms. Losby had recommended. So we pass it to the amendments. Chair goes aye.
Members vote on HB 1903, House Draft 1. Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Recognizing all members here, any reservations or names? Seeing none, Chair, your measure is adopted.
Okay, this concludes the hearing. Thank you.